Daddy, look, 5 days later, the Prunus laurocerasus shrub is nearly eaten up by the caterpillars of Antherina, suraka, and how they have grown. Incredible. So let's have a look. I think some of them, or 1 or 2, are already in stage number 5. So we will see whether we can show it to you here. I have to cut this plant anyway, so it will be good that I cut it back a little bit so it can grow further in the next weeks. That I let it outside. Look here, they are underneath the young sprouts of the Prunus laurocerasus here, and they are big now. Compared to only some days ago, they have grown very fast. And I want to see whether I can show you the stage number 6 caterpillars, the first that I've seen here. That's it. This is easy to see because it has red spines. Wow, look how beautiful it is. Antherina suraka. This is the last stage. Stage number 4 is mostly green on the back with yellow spines, and in the even earlier stages, as you have seen in the other videos, the spines are black. So it's time to change the whole setting. So I take out my plant. I have to just, of course I could change the plant and put in a new plant, but you know that in the last stage of a caterpillar like this, they eat 80% of all the food they eat. In one stage, they eat 4/5 of all the food that they consume. So you can think this plant was finished now in the first 4 stages. So for the 5th stage, we would need 5 more plants like this, at least, to feed them. And that's a little bit too much. What I do here is I clean out all the fecal pellets because I want to keep them and probably measure how much they eat. That's also one of the questions very often I'm asked, yeah, how many of these plants do they eat? And this is really difficult to say because it depends a lot on the quality of the plant and, let's say, on the content of protein in the plant leaves. That's the main source. They are behind as a caterpillars because carbohydrates like sugars, they have enough in plants but not proteins. So this is the reason why they eat the green and the very green leaves, because they contain more of the important proteins for our caterpillars. So I put them just here into this little box to see how much they eat. So, and now what I have prepared some bottles. I will put all these bottles into the box afterwards again, because the setting here with the netting around and the holes in the middle, that's practical. And I have here a lot of fresh Prunus laurocerasus. I just have to cut them in the right size so I can put them into these bottles here. Of course, I pay attention that they cannot fall into the water, because I have lost a lot of caterpillars when I haven't paid enough attention to close the bottles on the upper side, because sometimes they crawl down the stems of the foot plant and they end drowning in the water of the bottle. So that's one of the things I pay attention now. You see, I have here some very nice plants just from outside, and as you know, it's very important to clean the leaves. So I wash them carefully and remove all the the things on the leaves that I don't want them, especially the droppings of the birds. They seem to be a problem sometimes for the caterpillars. Yeah, and when I'm sure that it's closed here, I can add the plant to my box. And then I have a third one, so that they have enough food now in the next days. Oh, that's it. Well, I think they have a lot to eat now. Also, you see the hole here is very practical to keep the bottles that they don't turn over and the water is coming out of the bottle, so this is very practical. And now I just have to put them back here. They are really very nice colored. And also it's better to not touch them with the hand. Not that they harm you, no, the contrary, you harm them if you touch them too often. That's a problem for the caterpillars more than for us. So I think these are about 30 or more, sitting on the plant here. And now, because I want them to crawl onto the other plant, I just can put them in here and they will do that job themselves, because they are not stupid, they know where the food is, so they crawl onto the fresh plants. And tomorrow I can remove the plant, and I'm sure there's not one caterpillar on the old plant. They like the new ones that I have presented them here. And then I think it's another 4 or 5 days, and then I have to go to China to a conference about edible insects in Wuhan. And then I can take them with me, and they have to stay here in my house. And then I put another plant in there, because I think that's about the time when they finish eating and they start building their cocoon. So let's see whether we can look at this process at the end of the life cycle of Antherina suraka together in some days. Thanks for watching.